I'm Jen, 37 years old, and a mom of two daughters. My older daughter Anne is in high school, and my younger daughter Sarah is in middle school. And recently, I got divorced. The court awarded their custody to me, so we live together. I thought I would be able to escape from the never ending emotional drain after a divorce, but life still puts a lot of pressure on me, which makes me feel depressed. My relationship with Anne has become rose. I also have trouble dating other men with her in mind. She always shrinks her responsibilities. For example, as the older daughter, she is 16 years old and should do the housework for the family. But she always says that it is too much for her. However, when I was 16 years old, I could take care of both the housework and the whole family and go out to work to earn the money. She doesn't have to work, so it's not difficult for her to do some home chores. Also, as Sarah's sisters, she should set a good example for her. So take care of Sarah and also do the laundry for Sarah is what an older sister should do. At this point, unlike Anne, Sarah is a good child. I can always tell her what I think about Anne, and she will listen to what I say carefully. Every time when I had an argument with Anne, talking to Sarah will be my biggest emotional support. Besides, Anne was missing curfew and school. She even lied to me that she had attended school on time and never missed one. She also used the excuse of going to a library with her classmates to hang out with the many older youngs, and I had no idea who they were and where she went. And how can she enter the good college like this? Of course, I hope she can finally attend the local college so that we can spend more time together. I tried to have a talk with her, but failed. There was a time that I wait until late, and she finally got home. And before I start, she became very angry and mentioned that I was dating another man who wasn't her father. But Anne didn't understand that the reason why I want to find a better man quickly by dating is to find someone who can truly be a good father for them. After all, her father is the rosy scumbag in the world. Any male animals will be better than him. I want them. I want to get them rid of the bad influence of that scum and create a harmonious family again. Ending an exhausted relationship like that means I deserve a better future. Of course, if I am not able to spend more time with my daughters or have a good communication with Anne, that goal can never be achieved. And I really miss the old day that Anne was willing to share her experience in school and her dogs to me.
Hi, um, I'm Sarah. I'm 12 years old, and this is my first year of middle school. And recently, I'm worried about the atmosphere and the situation at home. Since my dad and my mother separated, the relationship between my sister and my mother has become very worse. My sister changed a lot. She doesn't stay at home and comes back late every night. Recently, my mother has been coming to me to complain about my sister. She said that my sister didn't listen to her at all. She wished I could talk to my sister, but I really don't know how to start. These things also makes me very anxious. Recently, I have stayed in my room and do not want to go out because I am so afraid to see the quarrel between my mother and my sister. This feeling is very helpless. I really want to help my mother, but I feel that I cannot intervene between them. Once they were arguing, I don't know how to persuade them to stop. And at the same time, I'm also very worried about my sister. My sister is about to graduate from high school in a year later. During the dispute, my mother said that if she continued to not to go to school like this and played outside every day late, she would not be able to go to college. My sister has always been very serious about her studies, and she once told me that she was very looking forward to her college life. So I don't want she to continue doing like this. And moreover, I want to restore the relationship between my mother and my sister as before. In the past, our family would stay together. Everyone was very happy to talk about what happened recently. And my sister would tell us what interesting things happened in high school. I really enjoy those times. I don't want them to keep arguing like this, but I really don't know what to do and how to do it. And I really miss my dad. I love my father, I love my mom very much, but I also like to stay with my dad. I don't know why my father and my mother separated. My mom didn't tell me what happened between them, and I don't dare to ask my mother about this. I want to meet my dad, but I think my mom won't allow me to do that. Because once she came to me to complain, she mentioned that she hates my father very much, and I can notice that she is very angry with him. So I'm also very afraid that if I go to meet my dad alone, I will make my mother unhappy, and she will be angry with me too. So I hope through this therapy, the quarrel between my sister and my mother can stop, and I can have chances to meet my dad.
Hi, I'm Anne. I'm 16 years old and I'm in my junior year of high school. And I feel like over the past few weeks, clearly the tensions have been rising amongst my mom and me, and there's a lot more arguments. And that's because I feel like my mom and dad they just got a divorce, and it's been very hard on me. I don't think I've accepted the fact yet that my dad's no longer home with us, and that we're just living like us three, me, my sister, and my mom. And I think when my dad was home, like I was home a lot more and I was hanging out with my sister more because just seeing my parents be together made me happy. So I was happy to be home. But it's very depressing now that it's just me and my mom and my sister. So it's really hard on me. And I don't really like being home now. My mom also always screams at me. She always asks me to do everyone's house chores. So while she watches the TV, and I think she puts a lot more responsibility and gets more mad at me than she does with Sarah, which I think is very unfair. And I think for like the amount of stress and schoolwork I have, the house chores are a lot for me. Like they take up most of my time when I'm at home, and I have no time to study or do my homework when I'm in at the house. And my mom expects me to do clean my room, Sarah's room, do our both of our laundries, and to clean even like the kitchen and the TV room, which we all use. It's not just me. And in the morning before I leave for school, she'll sometimes ask me to do the dishes too. And I think this is asking a little bit too much, especially for a 16-year-old that's in just high school and is trying to apply um, to college, which I'm also very stressed about. I'm very stressed about applying to college. There's a lot of things that I need to do, and my mom, every time I come home, my mom's just like screaming at me and not letting me focus. And she expects me to apply to like all the top ranked like schools that are close to home. And I really don't want to stay local because my family's like really on my nerves, and I think I really want to go away and be independent and get that college experience. And my mom just wants me to stay home all the time, and I'm sick of it. And she also expects me to do very well on my ACT and to have a very high GPA. Um, but I don't know if I can take all that pressure. Like all my friends are having actual like ACT tutoring from professionals, and I know that we can't like really have that this time for our family, like get a tutor, but like, and I'm willing to study for it on my own, but um, my mom never appreciates anything I'm doing. So like once in a while, I feel like it would be nice for her to like um, show me a little gratitude, say like some few words of compliments to acknowledge how hard I'm working, because nothing that I do is ever good enough for her. And also because I don't really like being home in our environment that's home, I try to distract myself by going out with my friends and hanging out with them. And I honestly like I feel bad for Sarah, but I'm out of the house as much as possible. And my mom doesn't like my friend Brian because she doesn't want me dating him. But it's also very unfair because he really cares about me, and like he actually asks how I'm feeling, which is nice to have as a support. And he's someone I can confide in outside of the house. And okay, like I've missed a few curfews, but it's only because I didn't want to have my mom come home, like scream at me when I come home, and like just scream at me about why I didn't do the dishes or why I got a B instead of an A on just on a single test. And So also my mom thinks I'm missing school, but I'm actually not. She doesn't understand what free periods are and what that means. And so basically at my high school, they allow us to leave during our free periods to go across the shopping center to like get food and to come back like just during that time or like during lunch. And so when my mom calls the school like at those times, like they'll say I'm not here because I've signed out from school, and then she'll come home and and when I come home she'll scream at me and she'll tell me like that I'm not allowed to go. So, like a few weeks, she told me like, okay, like you're not allowed to go even at like you're gonna pack home like at home you're gonna pack your lunch, and then but I still went because like all my friends were still going and it was really hard to stay back. Like I would have been alone, and also like the school allowed it, so like it was safe. Um, but then my mom thought I was lying to her, but my grades are still high, and so I don't and they're normal, so I don't understand why my mom is so mad about me leaving to just go get food during a free period. And another thing that my mom says that I lie about is about going to the library with my friends, but I actually do go to the library. As I mentioned before, if I'm home, I'm doing all the chores, so there's no time for studying. So going to the library really helps me, and like I'll do my homework and studying with my friends, and then after, once in a while, maybe we'll go grab like a snack or we'll go to the park where we can like hang out and just relax. But I actually do go to the library, and my mom doesn't really believe me, which makes me very angry. Um, Another point in our family is that I really miss my dad's company around the house. He always tried to make me and my sister laugh, and now I can't see him, and I feel like the source of my happiness inside the house is all gone. And my mom and him are clearly on bad terms, and she doesn't want to talk to me or Sarah about it. She doesn't let us ask questions. And I try to like stay out of it, but because I know I don't want Sarah to get hurt, but my mom won't even let me hang out with my dad, and I feel like he was really helpful for like me and my mom's relationship by seeing him because he would like at least be a distraction. And I mean, I guess there's a part of me that like thinks that if I keep doing these things, my mom will be putting more attention on me and like getting mad at me because I don't really want her to be dating anyone. um and like I feel like if she gets mad at me, she like will distract herself from seeing other men. And she's 37 years old, which I think is very old, and she's like dating someone when she has unresolved issues with like my dad, and I don't think she's ready to move on. And I get that I have no control and that she's my mom, and so ultimately she can do whatever she wants. But it just makes me very uncomfortable when I come home all stressed out and I see another guy in my life. And she also said that she wants to find another father figure for us, but like my dad's my dad and I love him and nobody could ever replace him. So I think the two main goals here that I would like to achieve from therapy is um, to see my father more and to have my mom trust me. I just want my mother to stop getting into so many of like my business and to like truly speak more kindly to me. And I feel like she's putting a lot more stress on me and it's not fair. But I want overall my mom to know that she could trust me and that I'm a good kid.
Hello, my name is Emily, and I will be your family therapist throughout this process using solution-focused therapy. So today I'm going to discuss with you what I conceptualize from your case and the techniques I will use to help you all. It seems that your problems are stemming from the language of problems rather than language of solutions. You're all mentioning problems, but have no solutions on how to move on from it. My hope is that we all have more sessions. As we have more sessions, we will engage in solutions to talk about the future. And one way of doing this is by examining the strengths that you currently have within you. It seems like you all have strong opinions on the divorce, how to keep relationships post a divorce, and manage your own personal issues. And your mother's excessive attention and negative emotions about your behavior and lack of communication makes you want to do it more. But also, you think this will help keep you distracted from her current relationships. Throughout this process, we will come up with solutions for how you deal with your stress, how to communicate with your mother in a healthier way, and how to see your father using the strengths that you guys all carry. Jane, at times you are limited by your narrow views of the problem, when in reality there are deeper issues making you come up with false solutions. What I mean by this is that you think Anne is being a rebellious teenager, but maybe this is one way of you, but maybe it is the way you are handling the divorce, not allowing her to see her dad and stressors in her life that are making her act out. The issue is that the solutions you think will make the family harmonious again are false solutions because there is a bigger issue at hand. Throughout our sessions, we will come up with solutions as to what actions will help strengthen the relationship with your daughters based on the problems we have expressed. Solutions to communicate is going to be a big factor of the success from our sessions. Sarah seems to be the middleman in the relationship, and your lack of communication puts stress on everyone to get along. That is not fair to Sarah because it's not her job to communicate for you both and to vent to her constantly. The techniques I will use throughout our time together are focusing on problem description, goal setting, exploring exceptions, scaling questions, and compliments. Today, you all have told me your issues and concerns about each other. I want you to think of how I can help you with your current problems. I want you to think about what are some things that you've done in the past that might have improved the situation. That way we can use those and get rid of things that don't work. In our session, we will come up with clear and concrete goals so that you can all work towards achieving these goals together. This will help you come up with actions that will solve the problems instead of working towards changing the person. In order for you all to have this problem-solving mindset, I will be asking you miracle questions, which allows you to see how things could be and work towards that. Another technique I will use is the concept of exploring exceptions. This will require you to work outside of the sessions as well, not only in the sessions. We will see when the problem is not occurring and take note of this so that we know what was a possible solution. This may help us to find out what are possible solutions to continue to carry out and eradicate the problem. In order to gauge the process before each session, I will ask you a scaling question to see how much progress you have made and where you need improvements. Depending on your score, we can continue to create solutions or just make some adjustments. I want you to all feel encouraged throughout this process, and I will give you all positive remarks when I notice progress in your sessions. It would be a good idea to continue this at home as well, pointing out when someone is behaving well so that you can continue to progress. We will have about 5 to 10 sessions, but we will schedule each appointment at a time.